I'm making noni juice.
How long does it take before it's like ready for you to go, okay?
I would say I like to base it off of the color. Right now it's still too clear and yellowy. I want it to get a bit more golden brown, kind of like this one. A dragon fruit plant. It's actually growing on top of an old coconut tree stump within it.
Oh.
So that's why it's kind of giving this cool
Yeah.
cousin it effect, I guess. But it is a cactus. It has a lot. It has a lot of
warn me
thorns.
about these things.
Sorry, I didn't. Sorry, I'm so used
This
to
is
it.
like
I'm
the
like,
plague.
whatever.
I'm like, are we in the biblical times? Where's Moses?
Locusts.
Yeah.
It has
I don't want to open my mouth.
thorns, and then it has these flies, and they're warrior flies. I think some people call them like banana flies too, but
Warrior sounds cooler.
yeah, you just grab one, no stinger. And yeah, it's a good snack for chickens. They love it. And just let them go.
Wow.
You want to hold it?
No. Not at all.
But yeah, they're just, they're attracted to the sweetness, I think, because this is also a citrus plant. This is, these are lemons, I think. So here's one of the fruits that are ready to be picked. You can tell because of the color change. And I can also tell that this fruit is going to be magenta inside, or the red one, because there's also the white ones that look very similar, but the shape of it is usually a bit more oblong for the white ones. And then over here is my aquaponics. So I have fish in there. There's a sucker fish, and then there's tilapia. And then on top we use this lava rock as our filtration. Then over here I have bok choy. This is ginger, and then all the kalo, luau leaves.
And then whose idea is it to put the little dinosaurs in there?
Mine. I'm trying to start a collection. I have two. Where's the other one? So one of my nephews, his birthday party was dinosaur themed, and so they gave a little gift that had, I think it was watercress. In a mason jar, and then these guys. And so I put the watercress in, and then I was like, oh, I'll just put them in there too. So they stay and they protect my plants. Okay, and this ginger right here, I had a piece of ginger that was going bad from the store.
Yeah.
So I just shoved it in there, and look
Wow,
at that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was literally like this big. It was tiny, and like that. And then the bok choy, it was just a little like $3 plant from Walmart, and I just stuck it in there.
Dang.
And then actually that's lettuce too. So that was an accident, but I was testing to see if, you know, when you buy like romaine lettuce from the store, and then I cut off the bottom, and I was like, oh, I wonder what will happen if I just put it in there. And then one grew, and then I have all these little ones growing like in between.
Oh, so you didn't even plant those?
No.
Wow.
So I'm like, uh-oh.
Established in 1936, Hawaii State Federal Credit Union is one of Hawaii's largest credit unions with 14 locations across Maui and Oahu. They offer full-service financial solutions to meet your needs, everything from checking and savings to loans, credit cards, and more. And as a not-for-profit, Hawaii State Federal Credit Union is able to give back to their members in the form of better rates, lower fees, and innovative services. In fact, last year, they gave back nearly $19 million in share dividends to their members. And they also are strong believers in the power of building relationships and enriching lives, especially by giving back to the community. So whether it's through donation drives or by employees giving their time, the team at Hawaii State Federal Credit Union understands that small actions can have a big impact in the lives of others. So if you're looking for a place to bank that's always right by you, then you gotta look no further than Hawaii State Federal Credit Union. You can visit www.hawaiistatefcu.com or stop by any branch to join the HSFCU family today. Federally insured by NCUA.
These are soursop. Let me see. Oh, there's a good fruit right in the center. Can you see it? And then these leaves are great. You can make tea with them. It's supposed to have cancer fighting properties.
Oh.
A lot of really good stuff comes from the soursop.
Some people say that the plants have feelings. Do you talk to your plants?
Oh yeah, for sure. They hear me singing all the time too.
Oh, that's why they're bearing such good fruit.
Yes. This is Spanish plum. It's a nightmare to harvest these things because you have to go and pluck every individual one
Oh,
off.
there's so many of them.
Yes, it's exhausting. I have like a little picker and I'll stand here and I'm like, oh my God. But they're just little plums.
I've never heard of these. Do a lot of people use Spanish plums?
I learned about them in Guam. I went to Guam and a lady had them, one of the aunties that was letting us stay with her, she had them just sitting in the bowl in the middle of her dining table. And I was like, hey, I have those on my farm. And then she's like, yeah, eat them, they're good. And so I learned. So now we're entering the actual farm side of the operations for the piggery. And this is noni. And so that's why I harvested the fruits that I'm making the juice with. But I think it's just the neatest looking thing. And you can see like the progress it gets to be like this. And then this isn't necessarily ready to pick yet. I like it to be a little bit more white. Okay. So you see how it's still very firm.
Mm-hmm.
She's dirty, but yeah. You could eat that like a mango, like a green mango kind of vibe. And then you can get all the benefits from it without it smelling like blue cheese. Because that's what it smells like to me.
For real?
Yeah, when it smells fine right now. Wait.
Yeah, it smells okay.
Wanna smell it?
I don't, but I will.
Smell that.
It's not as bad as you, well, maybe. Okay, now, yeah.
So I can't imagine eating it like this. Yeah.
No.
But like that, we could.
Yeah.
But this texture is where I would put it in the jar to start making the noni juice, start the fermentation.
Ooh,
very soft.
That's gross.
Gross. And then the leaves are really great. I learned in Tahiti, so one of our friends got stung by a bee in Tahiti, and the host took noni leaves, warmed them up, and then wrapped the area where the bee sting was.
Yeah.
And her arm initially was like swollen red. She thought she was gonna have to go to the hospital. When they had the noni leaf wrap, inflammation all down.
Wow.
No infection, she was fine. We went from 600 down to about 5 hogs. I'm gonna bring this right here. And these are all boys.
Wow.
So these used to be our breeders. They would help us make more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But for the most part, they're in retirement, so they're just enjoying this life of just existing without having to work.
Oh my gosh.
I think these are our biggest ones right now, but we used to have one named Big Red that his head was like huge. Well, I give them each names based off of what I think they act like.
Yeah.
One of the ones in the front, I call him like McDreamy because he was the one that all the girls loved to breed with. And they like to get their back scratched like this.
Like a broom.
Yeah, like bristly.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I would never. Holy smokes. This is my first time ever touching a pig.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll start to move their backs like that, like do a little dance. And then with the water hose too, when I'm washing pens, if I wash them and the pressure from the hose feels good, they start doing this shimmy dance like this. It's so cute. Yeah. Yeah, pigs are very smart. When it comes to like moving them around, we have to be careful. Of course, like look at how big his foot is by mine. Like, gotta make sure they don't step on our toes. They throw their head a bit too. They use that as like a defense.
Oh.
So I've been flown by a pig before.
For
like
real?
I wasn't paying attention and I'm standing like this and they hook their nose underneath and they just, whoa, and I'm like, ah! So I've caught air a couple times. They're very strong.
Yeah.
If they get angry, they will like hit with their head too. That's why our boars, we try to trim down their tusks before they get very big because that could be dangerous if they catch us with that. They're very chill. So the ones that we did move, their vision, what you try to do is block their peripheral vision. Because if they can see an opening, they're gonna go for it. If they don't like where you're taking them and they see an opportunity, they're gonna be like, bye, and they just go. Yeah, and I think just like watching the way they maneuver and they're looking around, and if they see that open pocket, they go for it. Super smart. And they're pretty quick.
Yeah, you'd never guess that because they're so huge, and even just their demeanor is like just chill.
They full on gallop like a horse.
Wow.
Yeah, like sometimes for the mamas that we would breed, if we give them a break, they'd be in a building up there. So we have to move them all the way from up there to down here. And for that, I just let them run on their own because they can see the open pathway. And full on, they'll just be like, good, just like sprinting. And I'm like, wait! Like, gotta make sure I open the gate down here so they can get in.
Hey, I want to tell you guys about one of the best companies to work for here in Hawaii. And I'm not just saying that. I literally had one of my good friends go down there and apply for a job. She got hired and she is just loving it over there. I'm talking about Elite Parking. I've gotten to know the owners and the management team, and they have one of the best work environments I've ever seen because they're good people down there. And they follow this philosophy of one team making a difference. And so they really take care of each other because they understand the value of everybody working together and being happy. I mean, it's the hospitality industry that they're in. And of course, they want to make sure that first and last impressions are always great. And so they really want to take care of their employees so that the employees can take care of their customers. So they do all kinds of things as it pertains to parking, like valet parking, private events, hospitals. They run the parking for commercial properties and hotels. So lots of opportunities, and they have other positions within the company as well. And so if you're looking for a place to check out for work, they're always looking for really good candidates. So I suggest that you go and check them out. Go to eliteparking.net/careers and see what they got. Maybe it might be a good fit. Here in Hawaii is grateful to be sponsored by UHA Health Insurance. For over 27 years, they've been committed to personalized service, working to provide Hawaii businesses with health plans that help support their employees' health and well-being while building connections through a caring heart. Now, they aren't the biggest health insurer or the oldest, but they're homegrown, they're founded by physicians, and driven by a profound kuleana and privileged duty to care for Hawaii's people. We hope that you enjoy connecting the dots to your why, featuring leaders inspired to malama or care deeply for our community while fulfilling their calling. UHA Health Insurance, your local insurer offering quality medical, drug, and vision plans to Hawaii employers. Join them at uhahealth.com/HIH. When you set them up for breeding, do you play Marvin Gaye or something?
Actually, you can tell like who fancies the other one, because so when we would bring the girls in here, usually they're about to start their heat, and you can kind of tell. I keep saying that you can tell because of this, but I look at a pig and I can tell that their heat's gonna start soon. And it's funny because the girls will walk and they'll like full on like they're swaying like this. So as the pigs are walking in here, I'm like, okay, girlies, let's go. And they're just going by the pens like this. And then the big boys are like, and you see them, they start foaming at the mouth and they get all excited. Then so we're like, let's put her in here and we'll see what happens. And boom, as soon as we let her in, catch.
What you described reminds me of when I used to go to the clubs.
It's like Moanis nowadays.
Yeah. The guys pretty much communicate that way.
Girls too. Yeah. They do the walk. Yeah. These are the boards that we would use to move the piggies. When I'm walking, like if you were my pig.
Yeah.
So I'd go behind you and I would kind of nudge you with the board from behind. And then if you were to try to take a sharp left, like make like you're gonna go left, and I'd be like, hey! And then I walk behind and I go hip, 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 hip. And I use this and I just block and make the way hip, hip, hit 'em on, pig, hip, hip, like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that also protects my shins in case they are gonna throw their head. I can use that to protect my legs.
I just love the sounds and the words. It's very cowboy sounding.
I saw one of the funniest TikToks was a local girl saying that her sister sent her to go collect her nieces and nephews from a party they weren't supposed to be at.
Yeah.
She goes to the party and she goes, all right, let's go hip, 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 into the car. I was like, oh my God, that's gonna be me and my kids. This is where we had most of the pigs that we were gonna sell for the market. Each pen had about 10 hogs in each one. And then this is that big fireman.
Is that the one that you had to use?
Tell me not. Little rascals. And this thing is strong, like that.
It's like power washing.
Yes, yeah. This is really cool. Welcome to my collection of forks and knives and spoons and...
What is this?
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Okay,
so many dingle hoppers.
Yes. So these are from, you know how I said that we would cook up all of the food waste from grocery stores and restaurants?
Yeah.
So we would get all of that in these big, kind of like the rubbish cans on wheels. The restaurants that are cleaning the plates, instead of cleaning the plate of the food, they'd be like,
oh my God.
So then I would have to pull all of this out of the food waste. Yeah.
This is an insane amount.
And this isn't even all of it. This is like the third time this thing's been filled.
What?
Yeah.
I wonder if the restaurant owners are knowing, like they're wondering, where did all of our cutlery go?
And fun fact, my dad is a restaurant equipment sales rep for a very expensive brand. So I find his equipment in here.
No way.
And I'm like, Dad, they got some of your stuff in here. And he's like, oh my God. Like, so yeah, this stuff is expensive. Okay, here we go.
What?
This is the big cooker.
Okay, so how does this all work?
So the trucks would reverse to the dock. That's what it is, a dock. Offload the food, which would be like in a trash can, like how we have that one with the J on it.
Yeah.
Then we would pull it off the truck, bring it here, spin it around, open the top, push her over, and then this bar helps because then we have to lift.
Oh.
And then that makes sure it doesn't fall in.
Yeah.
And then all the food drops to the bottom. Those pipes blow hot steam, and we add water, and it's just one big pot of stew. And
this is the thing where you...
Yes, so this right here, these would be my mixers. And so I would stand and try to get some leverage like this, and I'd be pushing down and twisting like this. And you'd have to do it from this side all the way to the end and mix it.
For how long usually would it take?
A couple hours, gotta cook.
How come you don't have like Popeye forearms?
Well, you have to like use your whole body because sometimes it's like, yeah, so a lot of just...
Oh, so your core is solid then.
I mean, a different type of solid. But yeah, that's at what time I fell in when it was cooking.
How hot was it then?
Pretty hot.
Dang.
But I think I had my foot like this, or like it slipped. You see that? That's grease from the food before.
Oh, wow.
And so my foot just slipped, and then I caught myself with my arm right there, and then I pulled myself out. I think I had the slop went all the way up to here. I pulled myself out. I grabbed the water hose and kicked this thing on, and I was just shooting down my leg to make sure that I didn't get burned.
Yeah.
But luckily it was quick enough that I was okay.
Oh my gosh.
But I was up here by myself, and that happened, and then I didn't want to tell anybody because I thought I was going to get yelled at for getting hurt.
Man.
Yeah, especially like doing something so foolish as that of like putting my foot where I'm not supposed to put it, and then nobody was up here, so it could have been worse. So I was like, oh, I don't want to get yelled at.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just got cooked.
Yeah, for real. That chute right there, once it's all cooked, we would bring, there's another, oh, I don't know where it's at. We had a bucket that we would put on the forklift, drive the bucket underneath that puka, lift that up, let the food fill up that bucket, and then the bucket, once it's filled, that has its own little chute, kind of similar mechanism. And then you see like in this pen, it has the trough.
Yeah.
And then, so I just from up here on that level, open it, and then the food falls right in.
How often do you have to did you have to feed them?
Every day.
And it's like that much. Ooh.
Yeah. We would use about, I think a half every day. So we would cook, then use one part of it, and then we'd be cooking the other one for the next couple of days. So it was always like staggering like that.
Wow.
Yeah. We actually have, there's like a guy that works at the state, and he would come and make sure that it was getting to the right temperature and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're very like particular, making sure everybody's safe. Because we're feeding the community, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be good.
There has to be standards.
Yep.
Hey guys, our friends over at City Mill have an awesome DIY sale going on from September 29th through October 19th. So if you have some DIY projects going on at home that you need to tackle, well, you got some great savings right now. So let's say you have some holes or cracks in your pavement, some sidewalks or patios. Well, you can repair them just like the pros do with their concrete patch and concrete sealant, which are now on sale. And they also have special filler rope in different sizes also available for filling in those large gaps. And if you have some projects that maybe you want someone else to handle, you don't want to do it yourself, well, they have a drop-off window where you can do screen repairs, which is also available at all City Mill locations. And you can go and look for all of the great savings on even more project supplies in store or online at citymill.com. Hey, I wanted to take a quick second to acknowledge and mahalo one of our great sponsors here on the show, and that's Aloha Care. They're a nonprofit health plan, and they've been a really great partner for us in supporting the show. So please support them by going to their website and learning more about them at alohacare.org. All right, now back to the show.
This is a ulu tree. We have a couple of these on the property. And this is the ulu tree that Papa broke the branch when I bumped my head. I kind of was quiet. That's how you know that I'm like upset. I was quiet. And I had stood up and one of the branches like bonked me in the head, and I was like, ah! And that was like the first noise that I had made that whole day because I was like still upset with him. And he like got up out of his golf cart and like grabbed that branch and was like, ah!
Is that the branch?
It was somewhere like, I think it was coming off of here. And it was like a smaller one because he was able to just like, it was kind of like this, and he just like, This is kind of cool to show actually. This is Papa's machine. It still operates. Uncle El will drive it. But this is like, Papa helped to build my house with this machine. And making any plants, he would sit on there and he would dig a puka for my plants using the bucket. One time I woke up because I heard his machine, and I looked out my window, and I have a video of it, and he's literally just like digging a big puka right next to me. He was so good with this machine. Like I could be standing right here and he wouldn't hit me, and he would make a puka. So my house was like right here.
Dang.
Yep. So this machine's really been in my family for a long time. And then these rocks, that's what we use for imu.
Mm-hmm.
And these rocks actually came from my first baby luau.
Oh, no way.
Yep, so we still have the same ones.
Wow.
And we used it we had one last imu before Papa passed away. It was like the Thanksgiving before. And it was right over here that we did it. We used these rocks. Yeah.
Since you're so accustomed to all kinds of, for us townies, like squeamish things, do you have something that you actually are affected by, like that you're squeamish about?
I don't like centipedes.
Okay.
And I had one crawl on my stomach one time when I was working here. So I was moving a pig into the scale, and it was a big pig, and I felt something like tickling my tummy, and I thought it was my shirt or like the string from my pants. And so I just like lifted up my shirt, and then I went like this, and then I saw it was a centipede crawling up. And I was like, ah! And I ripped off my shirt. There's customers here, and mind you, I'm freaking out. So I'm just in my bra, just like, ah! And then my uncle was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, man, there was a centipede on me, dog. And then he was like, oh, you sound like Randy Jackson, dog. And I'm like traumatized, like, ah. And then for the rest of the day, like I kept like going like this because I thought it was still there. But yeah, so I don't like centipedes. But other than that, I can handle all
That's,
that.
yeah. For it to be an experience like that, that's pretty extreme.
Yeah, yeah. How many times did you get grossed out with us just walking around here?
It's continuously happening. Like I've just been at 10. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there's so many things that's like, it's like normal and no brainer to me. So I
Yeah.
don't realize.
But
So,
it actually, in all seriousness, is fascinating. Like, and especially being able to connect it, especially after we talked about your connection to what it means and feeding people and all that. It was more than just like, it was more like, I connect it now and there's meaning and value behind it. So
yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but I'm okay that it's being done.
Cool, cool.